Hi there, beautiful souls. How are you doing today? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I want to do a thank you and a big shout out to all the people who are watching, sharing, engaging, and liking my videos and spreading the light. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and just showing some engagement and some activity. Your support is greatly appreciated because it helps to grow this channel and to also spread the light and help the light forces win this battle between the light and dark. Okay, so in this video, let me just do a quick intro. For those who are new to my channel, please watch my welcome video so you understand what this channel is all about, and that way you have also some background information about me as well too. But in this video, I would like to share with you how to become a 5D person. If you haven't watched my previous other videos on the differences in 3D, 4D, and 5D state of consciousness, I will leave the link of the video below so that way you can familiarize yourself with those terminology, and then you can pick up from that and then watch this video so that way you understand what I'm talking about when I discuss these concepts. Okay, so I have simplified the process of becoming a 5D person into 3 phases. I'm just gonna talk about the overview of these 3 phases, and in another series of videos I'm gonna go into each phase with a lot more detail, so that way we talk about the complete picture, the overview, and then we go drill it down to the details of it all. Okay, so how do you become a 5D person? The first phase is you have to unplug yourself from the matrix. The matrix is programming, which means you're gonna have to spend a lot of time researching and uncovering a lot of deception about the matrix. You have to understand how the matrix is actually constructed, so that way you can see it for what it is. That is, it's a bunch of false belief systems and concept that is being programmed into your subconscious, so that way it has existence. Reality is not real. Your consciousness is what creates reality, and in order for the matrix to exist, you actually have to buy into these belief systems. Okay, so when it comes to uncovering all the deception, I'm talking about there's so many things that are lies. The whole thing is built on lies. So I'll give you some examples to point you in the direction of where to start looking. The first deception is, okay, let's say vaccination. The matrix tells you that vaccines are good for you. It helps to protect society, prevents you from spreading your germs and the illnesses to other people. It helps to strengthen your immune system. This is the matrix's programming. I implore you to actually do some real research into what vaccines is really all about. This is an example of unplugging from the matrix. Another example would be like taxes. Your income taxes is not used to support the country. This is also a lie. Income tax is also a form of theft by the government. This is what they don't want you to know. So the more you go into digging these kind of topic is when you are truly, really unplugging from the matrix and seeing it for what it is, which is this very, manipulative, controlling system that is meant to keep you in a lower vibration of scarcity, fear, lack, competition, greed, power. This is the reason why the human society is the way it is. It's the way the matrix is constructed. Okay, here's another tip for you to go into researching. Find out what the birth certificate is really about. It's not what you think it is about. Find out why did they create the birth certificate. What was the reason behind it all? Another one would be like understanding the straw man. What is a natural person and what is a straw man? A lot of people don't understand what I'm talking about when it comes to this concept, but you have to understand that you are a natural being, you're a soul, you're living entities, and a lot of the rules, a lot of the laws that are created is actually not applying to a natural person, the natural being with a living soul. Is being applied to a fictitious version of you, the corporation version of you. That's why all your names is spelled in capital letters for a reason. It's because they are trying to control and manipulate the straw man, the fictitious version of you, because a natural being is free and sovereign, and they can't create these rules to control a free sovereign person, so they have to create the fictitious version of you to make all these rules and all these regulations to control you. So it's really important. I mean, there's so many subjects for you to cover, so this is going to be an extensive phase in your life where you're going to be uncovering a lot of deception. I point out to my other videos about the moon deception array. Go look into that. Go look into, about the moon landing that never existed. Go look into the royal family in England. They're not human. Go check that information out. Go research these things. It's very important for you to really know the truth versus lies, because when you believe in lies, you lower your frequency, which makes it easier for you to be controlled and manipulated. This is the reason why the mainstream media is always pumping lies and fears for you to believe in it, so that way your frequency gets dropped and you're easily controlled, manipulated, and programmed, essentially. But when you start uncovering truth and start raising your vibration and going into this state of enlightenment and really know what truth is all about, your frequency is really high, and they're no longer able to control your consciousness and control you. There's a war right now going on. We're going to discuss this in another video, but I will share you that there's a war going on between light and dark, and they're fighting not only for the planet Earth, but they're also fighting over your consciousness. The controllers of this world understand that it is your consciousness that creates the reality that you are experiencing. So those that can control your consciousness through mass media, movies, television, magazines, newspaper, social media, they have control of your reality. All they do is give you the programming that they want to create and put in the movies, put in all the TV shows. You digest, you consume those type of belief system, and then you manifest it for them. This is how they do it. This is how they manipulate your mind and your consciousness. Don't allow them to do that anymore, because they're going to be creating a very, very negative, dark, controlling, bad reality, because it serves them. It serves them because they're feeding off the life force of your energy when you're in these lower state of beings. They like to feed off your fear, your worries, your anxieties, your doubt, your loneliness, your desperation, your unworthiness, your unfulfillment, I said loneliness already, but all the lower vibration you can think of, violence, anger, and frustration, they're feeding off that energy. You are their food sources. So don't feed them when you put yourself into this lower vibration, and deception is a part of that vibration frequency band. The more you can raise your frequency and get out of that deception, you're moving closer to the light and living in truth and going towards enlightenment, which is one of the highest frequency that you can reach in terms of ascension. Okay, so now the second phase of ascending to a 5D person is identifying all of the belief system that you were taught and that were given to you when you incarnate here into planet Earth. Okay, planet Earth is a very low density planet, as I already stated, and it's a planet full of limitation. It has put you when you agree to incarnate here, you also agree to go into a state of amnesia. So you don't remember who you are. You don't remember that you came from Source, or you're connected to Source. You don't remember that you have all these amazing gifts and powers, but you've come into this planet, which is also called a prison planet by other ETs, by the way, and you adopt all these self-limiting belief system, scarcity mindset, fear-based mindset, these belief system that you had to take on for you to exist in this 3D, 4D matrix. So the second phase of your ascension process is to identify as many belief systems as you can that limits your power as being a God being, and then replace it with the opposite being. with the opposite belief system. So I'll give you some belief system right now for you to see as examples of 3D, 4D programming belief system that is keeping you in a lower state of frequency and is preventing you from ascending to 5D. Okay. Example would be, okay, as you age, your body disintegrates or degenerates. This is a well, let's say, accepted belief system by everybody that as you get older, you're gonna age, your body ages, everything about you age, and then you die. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not the case. A person in 5D state of consciousness know that aging doesn't necessarily mean that your body has to degenerate. Aging can just be you actually gaining more awareness. Doesn't mean that your body has to degenerate. Your body is degenerating because you're not taking care of it. Your body is degenerating because you don't know how to use your consciousness to enhance your DNA, to increase the telomere, so that way you can extend your life and live longer. A lot of the ET beings, they don't live 100 years like us. They live well over 300, 400, thousands of years. So you have to unplug from the matrix program and believe that aging leads to disintegration or degeneration of your body. That's not true. That's a matrix program. So when you believe into that programming, what you experience in your reality is that you're going to age as you get, your body ages, or your body disintegrates as you get older. It's not necessarily true. Okay. Now, another example of a false 3D, 4D programming would be like you can't regrow back your limbs. Once you get, let's say your arms get cut off, you can't regrow it back. Well, in 5D state of consciousness, anything is possible. Everything is possible. They have the technology, they have the science, they have the capacity to actually regenerate everything in your body. Even a missing arm, even your eyes missing. Everything about your body can be regrow and regenerate. They even know how to clone themselves. This is already a proven fact that, you know, there's a lot of celebrities and politicians being cloned right now, but we just don't know about it. But we can be cloned. You know, Dolly the sheep can be cloned. So that's also a false 3D matrix program. What else is another example? You just everything you were taught to believe in this matrix, it's a lie. You just replace it with the opposite belief system, because at the core of the truth of this all, you are a unlimited being. You're very, very powerful with God-given abilities that you can create any reality that you want to create, to be able to experience it. But you first have to believe that you have this power and this capacity to. This is very important, because belief system is the blueprint of how your reality is actually being generated. It's being created by your conscious mind. Without belief system, you cannot experience reality. Okay, so it's important for you to think about everything that you've been taught to believe and completely question it, completely adopt an opposite belief system of it. Because if you want to go to 5D and you want to become that angelic version of yourself and become the best version of yourself and create anything you want to create, you have to drop all the limitations. All the limitations. Everything you've ever been taught is wrong. And in 5D, everything is possible. These 5D beings can, they can travel to other dimensions with just thinking about it. They can teleport themselves with just their mind. They have vehicles that are operated with just their consciousness. They don't even need to drive in the vehicle. They don't even need to be in the vehicle. They operate the vehicle with their consciousness. Just to give you some examples how advanced these beings are. I'll give you another example of a 3D, 4D belief system. As you advance in your spiritual development, you're not gonna need such a heavy reliance on food. We're taught to believe that you need food, water to survive. It's not true. As you raise your frequency and your consciousness, and your DNA actually gets changed, and you absorb more light from the sun, your need for food decreases. the food and water decrease, a lot of these higher ET beings, they don't need to eat as much as we do. They certainly don't eat meat because they're a light being, and eating meat is very heavy for them. So they don't eat meat. They eat there's a certain galactic family that eats just, vegetables and fruits. There are some that eat just only fruits. And there are some that have evolved to a point where they don't even need to eat anymore. They just get all their energy from the atmosphere, everything around them, from the air, from the sunlight, from the pranic energy that is around them. There's energy everywhere in our galaxy, and they're able to get sustenance from that energy from source, from everything around them. So it just depends on where they are in their ascension and on their state of consciousness. But this is some examples of belief systems that are false and are part of the 3D, 4D matrix programming. And if you can identify as many belief systems as possible that limits your power and your consciousness, replace it with the other. We will cover a video that I will expose more belief systems for you that are false, so that way you have a handle on how deceptive this matrix is. Okay, so the last point I want to cover is, once you have unplugged from the matrix, once you have identified the false belief system that is passed on to you from your family, your religion, your government, the third phase of your ascension process is to now gain the 5D belief system, but now you have to start living in it. Now you have to start practicing these concepts that you're learning to be more of a higher spiritual being. So right now I'm in this phase myself. So I've already gone through phase 1, phase 2. I have a lot of knowledge already in the 5D consciousness and how these beings act and behave. But I'm in the third phase, which is implementing my knowledge now and actually learning to become a more compassionate being towards people who are not so compassionate to me, who bully me, who abuse me, and who are not so nice and kind to me. It's really challenging in this third phase because you still have your ego and you want to stand your ground. You want to my first instinct when I get attacked by people and I get bullied by people because I have a different perspective from these people is I want to attack back. I want to rebuttal back, but I have to sometimes hold myself, restrain myself, because I know if I engage in that type of activity, I'm lowering my frequency. I'm allowing myself to be triggered. I'm allowing myself to be upset. I'm feeding the dark forces when I allow my frequency to be dropped that much and get angry and get frustrated and stoop to their level of consciousness. So I have to really restrain myself and try to deal with that individual in a more compassionate way. And sometimes I succeed and sometimes I don't. My ego is still here. I'm working on transmuting this ego. But the third phase is a very, very difficult phase. This is the phase that Buddha, Jesus, all came here to be living examples for us to model after. So it's a very challenging phase for me to practice, because being a twin flame where my energy is very intense and I have a natural warrior instinct and warrior spirit where I do not put up with people's BS. My natural drive is to I like to prove people wrong. I like to really show people what I like to prove people wrong. Basically, this is my ego. So I really have to work hard on not becoming that version of myself and try to give them more light in a more compassionate way without being triggered. And it's not easy. I'm telling you that right now, it's not easy. So it's well worth the work, because I know once I finally transmute this version of myself, I can handle all type of people. I can handle the people that are not so kind, not so friendly, not so compassionate, and maybe not in my state of consciousness, and all they do is just attack me. So it's challenging, but it's rewarding, and every single interaction I have with people who push my buttons, it gets me triggered, I know it's an opportunity for me to practice these spiritual concepts that I'm teaching you, what I'm sharing with you, right? So it's one thing to talk about it, but now we got to not only practice it, but we got to master it. So this is the phase I'm in right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys got a lot of value of it. Please share, please comment, give me a like. I do like it if you guys make some engagement, leave me a comment what you thought about the video, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, and help spread the like. So I really appreciate your attention and tuning in. I hope to see you on the next video. Take care, guys. Take care. Bye.